Good evening. This is what is today? Today's Friday, finally, March 30th, 2018. This is the Stunthangar video hangout. I'm Rusty, and links are posted in the usual places on the Stunthangar control line forums, which is for members only of Stunthangar. And you can get the link to either join the video chat or you can join the YouTube side where you can watch us in the YouTube window and post in the chat box over there. I have not started the chat box yet. Let's see if I can pull it out. And the reason I wait is it seems to work better that way because it's been a little glitchy that way, and it appears to be loading now. And so drag it over where I can see it, and you can use that if you watch on the YouTube window to post messages where we can ask and answer questions. You can make comments, and meanwhile, if you are in the video with us, which we actually already have one, Charles Carter joined us early tonight, and so we're going to start right up with no further ado. Welcome, and good evening, Charles.
Hey, good evening.
There he is, a walking entrance. How you doing tonight, bud? Oh, I see you got your Stunthangar official.
Oh yeah, got my uniform on.
I got my Cox Engine Forums shirt on.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, we're proud.
That's right. Okay, man. So you've been working on your Strega, huh?
Yeah, I went to go fly it today, and you know, I went to get a bump, and the prop nut gave way. You know, got loose. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I gotta take off the spinner, and then we come to find out, I really couldn't tighten it down without everything spinning. You know. So I had a problem. So I flew my other plane, which is Oriental, and then I brought the Strega home, and I saw the problem was the back plate of my spinner. By the way, I'm using a prop extension, so I don't know if you're familiar how the prop extensions set up.
I sort of do. It's about what it sounds like, right? It just couples onto the crankshaft's threaded end, and then gives you more room to fit your spinner and spinner nut on.
Right. Yeah. So the K77 motor I have, it sits further back into the engine mounts than the Stalker 81 did, and so I needed a prop extension nut to get the prop beyond the nose ring. And so, anyways, it just had some binding, and I had to relieve it so it wouldn't bind, and now I can tighten it without everything spinning. So I'm gonna do that, and I also realized that when I put the K77 in, it's a rear exhaust muffler, and the muffler is kind of rubbing against some of the airframe. So I got to make some, remove some wood so that it's not rattling. It's just these little teeny things, like these two things I mentioned already. And it's just like, I can't wait to, I did get a flight or two in Wednesday, but the prop that I'm using does not have enough pitch. And so I'm going to hopefully repitch the prop tonight.
So what, the other prop had a thicker hub or something on it? Is that what was causing your trouble?
No, the problem was with the prop extension, how it's set, how it works, how it interchanges with everything. I had a little bit of binding. And that's why I couldn't get the nut tight without everything spinning. And then the muffler is a separate issue. I just want to get rid of that rattling I'm hearing. But Wednesday, when I was flying it, the prop that I was given with the motor, it doesn't have enough pitch on it. So I just need to repitch it, give it more pitch. I haven't even measured it yet. I just put it on there and was hoping for the best. And, it doesn't always happen.
It was out of carbon fiber 3-blade.
Yeah.
And when you repitch it, you just heat it up and use a pitch gauge and twist it and hold it until it cools.
Right.
Does it spring back any? Does it take a lot of tries to get it right?
Yeah, it does. I've only repitched the prop that was on the Stalker 81. I kept repitching that. Then I make what's called a prop gauge out of wood. Wendy Wanowski showed an easier way to do it. I actually have a Prather uh, prop gauge, which you can kind of measure the gauge that you have.
Yeah.
And I hardly ever use that. Actually, the method that Wendy shows is you just find the you cut a piece of, well, you got like an engine mount, like a 3/8 by ½ inch engine bear wood.
Yeah.
And then you attach the prop to that with a bolt, and then you just put a piece of wood that matches the airfoil of your prop. You sand it perfectly to that. Then if you want a bit more pitch, then you add another sheet of wood to it, which is a little bit higher or more of a curve, and then you just fine tune it. And then once you have that, then that prop gauge, you can use that to repitch your new prop, so they'll be just like the old prop.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less expensive that way. Because those Prather prop gauges on eBay are going for over $150.
I've seen that. Yeah, because I was curious about it and looked them up, but that's not. It's not something I really need. I'm not nearly as driven and meticulous as you are, but you know, if you want your plane to fly perfectly, then you got to go to those kind of details.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of a nice feature about the carbon fiber props. I imagine you can repitch other props, but I'm not sure about wooden props. But maybe APCs. I've never tried to repitch those, but the carbon fiber props, you can repitch them, which is kind of nice. So if you want a little bit more speed, yeah, like if you love your engine run, but you want a little bit more speed, you just give it a little bit more of a pitch, and it's like you can adjust.
Yeah, without changing the weight or any other part of the configuration too. So yeah,
it's a really nice thing. I really like it, but it's kind of a pain. But once you get it dialed in, it's pretty much.
Maybe you can give us a show and tell on that one night.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Sure. Yeah, maybe the problem is I have a wife and 3 kids, and my garage is a mess. I can't do any demos in there yet.
I just noticed you've got a different setting in front of you or behind you tonight.
Yeah, I'm using the dining table. My garage is so congested. I really can't do anything in there. But I got to get my garage straight. I just I try to kind of balance everything between working on cars and homeschooling my kids and taking care of my wife and flying as much as I can. Just kind of some things kind of fall through the cracks in my garage. I really haven't been using it as a garage. It's more like a storage bin lately.
Yeah. Well, how is your family? Is your wife feeling okay these days?
Yeah, she's doing better. She's not having those like chest pain symptoms, which are pretty scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that might have been just fibromyalgia just acting in that particular area. She has fibromyalgia, and so it's kind of dynamic in that it affects her body in different places.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to treat it because it doesn't stay in one spot, you know.
That's basically just oversensitive nerves, is it not?
Something like that, yeah. You know, just you get pain, and it's a chronic pain. And then she also has, I'm not sure if she has chronic fatigue that much, but she definitely has chronic pain.
Well, pain will make you fatigued. I'll tell you what, it'll wear you out.
Yeah, it definitely can wear you out. Yeah, she's out with the kids right now, so we have the place to ourselves. But probably, I don't know, next 45 minutes or so, I'm gonna have to relocate. The kids are gonna come in and take over the place.
Yeah, they don't call them rugrats for nothing.
You know, I was reading something. I got a magazine in the mail. I didn't solicit it, but I got it, and it was about Billy Graham. And I guess he was born in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's where he was born, but that's where he lived.
Oh, where he lived. Okay. How far is that from you?
About 70 or 80 miles.
Okay, so I read that. I go, wow.
Huntersville is just above Charlotte, right on the perimeter loop, and so yeah, it's not far from me at all. It's closer than Charleston, South Carolina is.
Very cool. When I read that, I was thinking about you. I was like, wow, how many close that is to Rusty?
Yeah, he's come to Columbia many times.
Yeah.
Filled our um, college football stadium a few times.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you know, this is the Bible Belt, so he had a pretty strong following in this area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen him in San Diego too when he filled up. Well, I don't know if it's filled up, but pretty much filled up stadium there. I went there just to see. Um, I expected him to be a charismatic person, and not that I was disappointed. I wasn't, but it was just
He's a
he's not.
country boy.
Yeah, and
I'm proud of it.
he just basically said the Bible says this and the Bible says that, and he just relies on that and the Holy Spirit moving people to to change their life.
Yeah.
And it happens in big numbers when he does it. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people really, really loved him and followed him. And I was surprised that he was still still doing his tours as late in life as he did. He really hung in there.
Yeah, yeah. But and I don't know about him, but I know some people who are serving that way. They find that when they get up on the podium, they can be down and tired and proud of that, but when they get there, they just get invigorated.
Yeah.
They become who they are. So what you been up to?
Oh, I've been getting out to the shop more in the past few days than I've been all winter long, and I finally am back moving a little bit on the Cardinal. In fact, I went into the bedroom to get it right before I signed on, so I could show everybody what little bit I've done. But I went into the bedroom and forgot what I went for, and ended up getting 2 or 3 other things and leaving it right there by the bed. So when we get somebody else and a conversation can keep going without me sitting here, I'll go get it.
Yeah, very good.
But
I know things like yeah. Sometimes I go in the garage to get something. I go, what I come in here for? I can
yeah,
figure out what was I doing. Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's good.
don't worry about it too much. It's a normal thing, no matter what age you are. Ron Hass just joined us. Good evening, Ron. Ron can't seem to get his video and audio hooked up. He can get his video, but he can't seem to get his audio hooked up. So he can listen to us on YouTube and watch us on here, but he hadn't gotten it all going at the same time. Good evening, Ron. Glad to have you, though.
Good evening, Ron. Hey, congrats! I heard. I actually watched the part of the last show. I came in late, so I kind of tried to catch up on the parts I missed.
Oh, yeah. The Monday show, you mean, this week's?
Yeah, yeah, Monday. But I was glad to hear your doctor gave you the go ahead to
Yeah.
walk around and fly, and that is great news,
Yeah.
man. I'm
He said
glad
at this point, there's not much I'm going to do that's going to damage it. It might hurt, but it's not going to damage it. And so I'm around the house most all day long without using the cane. Then I get fatigued and pick it up and use it for a little bit. So that's pretty encouraging. And I'm hoping we got 4 weeks to go before it's contest season. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do it. You know what? It's not the flying possibility that bothers me so much as the walking around and moving equipment and all of the other stuff it takes to be able to fly. And we'll see how that goes.
right. And you could. I mean, I don't know if you really want to, but you have a opportunity if you want to go back and fly. You can go back and fly. I'm not saying you should, but you could go back and fly intermediate just to kind of get yourself
Yeah,
warmed up because you have a medical excuse or a
Mike
medical.
Leinke and I were talking about that because I want to go to advanced and he wants to stay in intermediate. And, you know, I'm never sure when my last contest is going to be. And I want to end it all having flown in intermediate. But more importantly, I'd rather have belonged in intermediate. So I think we might, I mean, excuse me, an advanced. But I might do intermediate again this time, unless I can talk Mike into coming up, and then it'll be just a contest between him and me, because we neither one of us stands a chance of winning advanced, and so we'll talk about it when we get to Huntersville and decide, and so that we both fly in the same class. I think it's probably going to be intermediate though. I'm probably need to get one under my belt. Maybe when I go to Triple Tree, I'll fly in advance. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Just I mean, that's a provision in the rule books.
Yeah.
If you have a medical,
is easier to walk around at too than Huntersville is, because Huntersville is slopey, and you know, with rocks and things in the paths, and so Huntersville is more like walking on a golf course. I mean, excuse me, Triple Tree is more like walking on a golf course. So I might save it, because that's 2 weeks after Huntersville. And hey, Jamie.
Hey.
And
hey,
so,
Jamie.
You know, y'all stand by for the flight reports, and we'll do whatever we do. If I judge, you know, that might be what happens at Huntersville. So we'll see. And
Yeah.
let's see, Ron Hess says there's another swap meet in the morning. He hopes to find some good deals. What's up, Jamie?
Oh, nothing. Not a whole lot. Just preparing for tomorrow. Finally going to fly tomorrow after not flying since December.
Yeah, just make sure you have a plan before you wave your pit man off and execute the plan and land.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing my ringmaster and another trainer plane that I've been having, and I'm gonna go fly. Joe Gilbert's down, so he's gonna be flying with us.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Where does he live?
He lives in Oklahoma. At least I think he does. But,
yeah, he does.
He's down in our area. He was there today flying with my club, and I had to work today, so luckily did enough work today to where I ain't got to work tomorrow.
Gerald just dropped in on the chat box and said hi to all of us, and he'll try to join us in a little while.
All right.
But I acquired yet another 46 LA.
For how much?
Huh?
For how much?
$40.
Well, that's still a great price.
Maybe I'll take one off your hands if you feel the need to let one go.
Culture wars at the age of Trump. As we've been reporting since our debut 5 months ago, on nearly every single...
It sounds like Sparky's television.
Sounds like Sparky.
But yeah, it's $40 and it's brand new. It's the
wow
version. But I'm trading off that Tower 46 I got, because it's just a heavy engine. I have no use for that.
It's heavier than an LA.
Oh yeah, it's 12 ounces.
Mm.
And this newly OS 35 I got last week.
FP.
No, Max S.
Oh boy, that's not as powerful as the FPs or the LAs, but it sure does fly a nice 4.2 brake. It's like a fox that doesn't burp.
Yeah, and I mean, I got this fairly cheap, like under $30 from a guy online. I had intentions of keeping it, but you know, I passed the offer. So this engine and a Tower 46 and $40 got me a brand new 46 LA.
Wow.
So, you know, I figured
I
out
love my Max S. It's on my shoestring right now, and the shoestring, of course, is built for a Fox 35 originally, but it'll fly fine on most modern 25s. But that Max S 35 is perfect for it too.
Yeah, I flew a Max 35S at Brodax 2 years ago. It was a friend of mine's plane. He let me fly. So my first official flight, never even had a chance to fly the plane prior to that. And that motor was a nice running motor. I was really impressed with it.
Do you have a muffler for it, or do you just fly it with open exhaust?
I think the guy had it with a muffler.
It's a strap-on, I think.
Yeah, strap on, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a muffler for mine, but I like the growl anyway.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I was very impressed with that motor. I mean, that's another motor I'd like to get, but I really don't like flying too small of planes. That motor is really for a smaller plane, smaller than what I fly. Hey, Sparky.
I see you got a good shirt on.
You know what?
Yeah,
This is very
official
nice.
Hangout shirt.
I'm wearing mine tomorrow. In fact, to the field. I got that same one.
I got Sparky's Little Sister Forums shirt on. Cox Engine Forum shirt.
That'll work.
I got that one too.
I got a couple more coming, but here's this color.
See, I like the orange one. I think the orange one's real nice.
Yeah, I think it's real nice too.
Then again, orange is my favorite color too. So.
Yeah, my red. I like my red one. Just a long sleeve version.
Of course, we got this kind.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I like that.
The GB.
That's on there. That's a Don Schultz design.
Yep. He was quite an artist.
Of course, you got the chicken wings.
Yeah, I like the chicken wings.
Man, I got them here. The chicken wings.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see what other one.
You been making any sawdust this week, Sparky?
No, I'm getting ready to though. Here's one from 09. Might bring
I
that.
like that. I like that one a lot.
Oh, that is cool.
That has my Viper on it from 09. There's been a few designs.
Sparky, after the other night, unless you got more stuff to show us, I was going to talk about the Hangouts future.
Yeah.
After you mentioned the other night that it might be going defunct, I started looking around, and it looks like they got solutions for enterprise. I'm not so sure about solutions for us amateurs that just come in and hang out and talk about model airplanes and stuff, but it's unclear. I couldn't find any good information on it. It looks like there might be something that's going to replace it, but whether or not it'll be easy to record it to YouTube while we do it like we do now, that's the biggest obstacle. It is for me anyway, because I couldn't seem to get it to work with the other website that we tried out last winter. What are you thinking? Have you looked into options other than that one that we do have?
I haven't looked at since then. You know, when it goes away, I'll look vigilant. You know,
Yeah.
I'll look hard and heavy at it.
Yeah.
But I know it is going away.
What about, I don't know about Skype, if you can do this sort of thing on Skype or not, but even recording it to YouTube would still probably be a problem.
Yeah, you can't do it. You have to upload it.
Yeah.
So the only way that I know how to do it right now is go to our other site and broadcast it via OBS into our live, which is now the camera function.
Yeah.
And I'm by playing around with that camera function, I'm not even sure they're going to have a way to broadcast besides the camera where you have the stream key. You know, you got to have a stream key to upload.
Oh, well.
But once it happens, I'll start looking for the gamers, you know, the 12-year-old kids, because they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, they sure will. Oh, well, anyway, yeah, well, we could use, if we have to take a break while we figure it out, it'll be good to get a couple of Friday and Monday nights off.
You know, I can always unlock that other room and anybody can go there. I mean, I see them pop. I have it set up on my computer. It tells me when people go in and out of there.
Yeah.
Anybody can use it, you know, when it's unlocked.
Yeah, I got one of those rooms too, but haven't used it lately. I think several of us do.
Yeah, I got one as well.
Yeah. But well, anyway, let me go get my Cardinal. If y'all can maintain the conversation while I walk to the bedroom and pick it up, I'll be right back.
All righty.
Well, I got a call from Bernie Trent. You ever hear that name?
Oh, yeah.
Bernie Trent called me. Hey, Gerald. And,
Rusty.
and said he wanted to send me a Super Tiger G2135, brand new in the box.
Oh.
So I'll have that next week.
You gonna make Voodoo number 7 then for that?
I guess I'll probably put that one on this one here that I got about done. I'll finish this up tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know Bernie Trent, but when you announced, you always mentioned his name, so I just have heard his name before.
Well, I sold him one of my MC-72. I don't know. That was that electric airplane I designed on the forum. You know, Machi Castoli. And I sold that to him a few years back, and we kind of became friends. His one buddy flies scale. I talk to him all the time. He's a good builder. And he sent me sandpaper and paint guns, just like Wendy.
I worked on the Cardinal some yesterday and see if I can get it in the camera. I finally got the, is that in focus?
Yeah.
Finally got the cheek cowl installed, and I wasn't sure how to shape it around the nose. I left a little room for filling, and you see how it got a little gap right up here.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Know how to make that?
Yeah, with superfill or micro balloons.
No. Take a piece, like a 1/4-inch square piece of balsa wood, 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4. Glue it into that hole, sand it off, and out inside.
That's a good idea. And also, I put a little dot of tape on the back of the blind nuts inside so the glue wouldn't get down in the holes. I didn't know what else to do to keep them from getting glue in there.
Put the screws in it flush.
Yeah, I thought about that. I didn't do it though, but the tape will just pop right off. And I've got a little bit of a gap. I don't know if you can see it behind each one, where I'm thinking about, you know, on my twister I had a blind nut let go, and if I had a gap like that and just a piece of 64th ply cover and everything, I could have taken a heat gun, removed that 64th ply, and gotten that blind nut out of there. But I'm not so sure if that's a good idea, or if maybe I should fill the cavities with glue and sawdust just to stiffen it up, make it
superfill. On profiles like that, I take superfill and wipe it inside.
Yeah.
It strengthens the nose, and if you got to dig the blind nut out, just drill a hole from the outside in the cheek cowl. You're going to paint it with dope, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Drill a hole and then put a new blind nut in. Then force a stick of balsa wood in, 1/4-inch square.
Yeah.
Finish it off and then touch it up, repaint it. You'll never know it's done there.
Okay. Hey, that's a good idea. But anyway, I'm proud of the way it came out. I think it's shaped up really nice. And I had either 60 or 80 grit paper, and it seemed to work pretty well. And I got a gap that extends farther than the doublers do under each one, so I'll fill that with a little bit of wood too. The only thing I did wrong is I took a little divot out in the worst possible place. I should have masked it with masking tape, but I took a little divot out of the fuselage right there. It's not really big enough to see on camera, but at the right angle, maybe you can tell it's there. So, yeah, that's a little weakness. But anyway, that's where I am on the Cardinal.
What you can do with those divots is take an X-Acto knife and cut into it where the divot starts and where it ends, glue in a piece of wood, sand it to shape, and then saturate it with CA. It's be stronger than.
Yeah, it would be stronger, wouldn't it? Excellent. Already got advice on it. But I'm happy to get something going, something that looks decent. And so, you know, maybe this weekend I can get the rudder vertical stab on it and get some dope. And one more question and then we can move on is before I put dope on the fuselage, should I put any primer on it before the dope or put the front? Okay, I didn't think so. You want to go in straight into the wood, onto the wood. All right.
You want to go with minimum 50-50 dope so that it penetrates into the wood. If you don't want a lot of dope going down there, you can dust it with hairspray. I don't recommend that. Let it saturate into the wood.
That's the way I feel about it. Yeah.
And then put the paper on it.
Right.
That paper adds a lot of strength.
Okay. That sounds good. That's what I hope to get done this weekend.
Hey, Sparky, I got a question for you.
Okay.
On the fillets, you don't paper over the fillets, do you?
The wing is, how you put fillets in is the wing is covered before it goes in, or in your case, you're going to have to cover the wing area there up to the fuselage. Then cover the fuselage and then get 3 or 4 coats of dope on that area to harden it up. Then put the fillet in and do not paper over it. No, you'll have a big problem.
How you doing, Gerald?
Good, thanks.
Hey, Gerald.
Hi, Steve.
Were you here when I was showing him the Cardinal?
Yeah, I saw the Cardinal and I heard Charles for a bit, but I went off and got my cup of coffee and my Stunthangar mug.
All right.
Yeah, they're quite a nice size. They're a good size mug, the Stunthangar mugs. But, yeah, the kids have got their T-shirts, their chicken wings T-shirts. They're just saving one for each of their birthdays. So Max gets his one in a few days' time, and Otter will get his one a couple of months later.
I got another cartoon, chicken wing cartoon I can make a shirt out of. You know, they gave me free reign to use those how I want. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Who designed that?
Chicken wings thing?
That's the Chelsea design.
No, chicken wings is done by these guys who make these. Come on. Who make these comic books? Michael and Stefan Strasser.
That's pretty nice of them to let you use them on T-shirts and stuff.
They said I could use anything that they already had done, but they had to charge me if they had to draw me something special.
Oh, we got a new visitor that I've never seen before. Kevin Muckleroy says Good Friday, all. And he signed on at 10:09 and it's 10:17 now. So sorry I missed you, Kevin, but welcome to our video hangouts. Feel free to post any comments or questions or answers.
Man, let me tell you.
I was just talking to Kevin on the phone.
What'd you say, Jamie?
I was just talking to him on the phone. When my phone rang, now I was Kevin. And I said, "What are you doing this?"
I have not charged this Hot Shot 2 since before our event in October. Okay. I have not flown since December, and it still fires the glow plug up.
What's the milliamp hour rating on it? Is it written on there?
No, it's just a Habaco Hot Shot 2. Rechargeable.
might be a nickel metal hydride. Those will hold on a long time. 4,000 as opposed to 1,300, which little NiCads are, and the ones like I buy. But then I replace the batteries.
Hey Charles, did you fly that new plane?
Yeah, I did. But the pitch I have on the prop is not enough pitch, so I'm actually hoping to repitch the prop tonight. And but the motor, the K77, seems like a nice motor. You know, I'm actually I'm kind of stepping backwards because I had the Strigger all set up with the stalker and had great lap times. And the only deficiency I had was when I did the top loop of the vertical 8, it would slow down a little bit, and just a little bit, but I didn't want it to do that. So I'm trying to see if this K77 won't do that. But to get the K77 to run, I got to find the right prop and get it all set up. That's why I was reading on Stunthangar tonight that they recommend a 13.5
13.453 blade at about 10.5.
10.5?
Yeah.
Okay. I was reading earlier tonight and they were talking about 9,500.
13.45, not a 13.5, 13.45 at 10.5. And
Okay.
it'll just hum right along constant speed if it's anything like the PA75.
Right. That's where it's supposed to be like.
It basically looks like a PA75.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't held a PA75 in my hand, so I guess, you know, I don't know.
What is yours, Charles? A 86 or
It's
something?
well, the new motor is a K77.
Oh, okay.
The Casminato motor.
Yeah, I was thinking of your old stalker.
It looks like this, only it's got a different venturi.
Hang on, let me enlarge you. Yeah.
Nice looking motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like that. Yeah.
Man, I've never even held a motor that size. That's a big old motor.
Yeah. Well, my stock 81's even bigger than that.
Sort of looks like a giant Nelson motor. Sort of.
Well, seeing as it's made by Nelson, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
I wish he'd do something with the 36. If he make a round venturi and change the port timing, we could make a great stunt engine out of that.
Out of which one?
Be a nice size engine, the 36. Good practical motor. Yeah.
Talking about a Nelson 36 Sparky? Is that right?
You got a Nelson 36?
No.
Yeah.
What's the 36 for? Is it for racing or is it for combat?
Combat. You have to change the port timing and the crank timing, and you know, so make a new liner or whatever, and a round venturi instead of a square venturi, so we could change inserts. That'd be a good little motor.
Yeah, what was it? 2 years ago there at Brodak, he made 100 of them or something like that. I know some of the guys were getting them there at Brodak.
75.
Well, that was last year, his 75s, but didn't he made one run of them combat 36s of his?
No, he sold off the combat end of that to some guy in Florida, and the guy in Florida is still making them.
Oh.
But like for me in combat, I'm just playing with combat and just going to have fun with it. I'm not going to get, ever going to fly FAI or the National, so I'm not worried about Nelson 36.
Steve, we put you on our agenda at the club meeting last Saturday about supplying you with a place to fly every day for whatever, week you want to come down here. So Huntersville is yours if you want it.
Yeah, Will called me tonight and said that he was supposed to send me a thing because it's going to cost me $25. Then I'll get a pass and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's gonna give me a key Sunday.
Okay.
And said that we can use it for the week or whatever, and then at Brodak give him the key back.
Oh, okay.
Because we won't be back down,
right,
this year or anything like that.
What week are you? What week are y'all coming?
We're leaving tomorrow.
Oh, okay, good. Well, if you get if you get bad weather or something and nothing to do for a day, drive down to Columbia and see me.
Yeah, we will. Well, we're going to get around, but we'll probably go there and put in 10, 15 flights, but that ain't going to take that long. And then take a break for the day, maybe go back at night, put in a few more.
Yeah.
But we never put in like 40 flights in a day. I mean, it gets just to be, you get tired and then you start practicing bad things.
You're right.
You ever been there before?
No.
Make sure you go to the second circle. We're up by the gazebo.
By the gazebo?
Yeah, but don't step out of the circle. You might hit a tree.
Yeah, they've freshly resurfaced, so they're in pretty good shape. But that lowest circle does have a dip in it, which has also been filled in. It doesn't hold water anymore, but it's still a noticeable slope over on one side of the circle.
How far do you live from Huntersville, Rusty?
Oh, about it's almost a 2-hour drive, maybe an hour and a half. Let's see.
That ain't too bad.
Hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Just straight down I-77.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll hook up and do lunch or something like that or whatever.
Maybe so. Yeah, we'll talk about it when you get here. And I got Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually free all day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got that dialysis thing to worry about. But maybe we can.
Yeah. I'll give you, you got something to write with? I'll give you my my telephone number.
Okay.
Now, everybody on the internet, this is Steve Hine.
That's all right. Unless you want to PM it to me. Would you rather PM it to me?
It don't matter. It's my my work number. So
okay. Go ahead and tell me.
It's 231.
Yeah.
206.
Yep.
2880.
Got it.
Now, Steve, what you should have did is put up your ex-wife's number.
I don't know her number.
Oh, damn. I would have the whole world calling.
Yeah, a guy was down there last year, and I guess there's caves around there or something that has a bunch of bats in them, and someplace between North Carolina and South Carolina. He was there last year, and when I was married, we went up to Iron Mountain, Michigan, and went down in these caves, and there's all these bats, and they run you in, and they show you the where they mined all the steel and or the iron ore and stuff, and then we were the last ones in, and we had to go in another one that put us the first ones in. We could see good, and when they turned on the lights, about 10,000 bats were flying around in there, and I could walk upright in these little tunnels, but most people had to duck down. Well, these bats were going back and forth in the tunnel. Well, I walked up behind my wife and did this in her hair. Oh. And she screamed.
She filed for divorce.
She screamed and threw her head forward, and her helmet hit the ground. I was going bamdy, bamdy, bam, because on that hard rock. All the women in there started screaming and running. There was a stampede of women. And this other guy was by me, and we're laughing our asses off. And his wife turned around and come back and was poking me in the chest. She said, "That ain't funny. That ain't funny one damn bit." And I was still laughing so hard that I couldn't even catch my breath. But yeah, they didn't see much humor in the whole situation. Yeah, they got the guy that was running the tour. He got mad at me and stuff like that. But oh well.
I got a funny bat story. I was sleeping on the couch downstairs, and my old lady said, "Come up here, there's something flying." And I go, just go back to sleep. It's a bug. She said, "It's not a bug, it's huge." Oh, yeah, right. So I go up there, and sure enough, there's a bat flying around in her room. So I got one of my pieces of balsa wood lumber, 2 inch by 3 inches wide by 36, and I felt bad. I took about 5 swings, and I hit him like a baseball. Bam! Up against the wall.
That's
Did you figure out how it got in?
No. Probably came in when the door was open.
Yes.
Mark Riley just joined us. How you doing, Mark?
How y'all doing?
We're good. That reminds me, Sparky, I just came across a video the other day while I was browsing YouTube of Randy Johnson throwing a fastball and hitting that seagull in the middle of the...
Was that a seagull? I thought it was a pigeon. That was a seagull?
Well, maybe it was. I thought it might be a seagull because the feathers were white. But, man, that was just an explosion.
Was that an opening day? Because that was all over TV. Was it yesterday was opening day or Wednesday was opening day? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's opening day hadn't come this year yet. Doesn't it come to day after tomorrow?
No, opening day's been gone already.
Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
And they were showing Randy Johnson on TV doing that, and I didn't know if that was something that happened on an opening day sometime or whatever. But
I don't know if it was or not. It was worth. It's funny as hell though. That's a keeper for all time.
Yeah, it made him feel really bad. I mean, that he throws that ball, you watch that ball, and that bird just comes into view, and boom, that was all there was to that bird.
I've had birds hit my fishing line like that on the beach, but I have never had one explode.
He threw the ball, or it was hit with the ball was hit with a bat, and
He threw the ball. But Randy Johnson throws 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
He did, yeah.
So it was smoking when it hit that bird.
It was crazy.
I hit one on my dresser one time, a pigeon. There was a bunch of pigeons on I-44 in the middle of the freeway, and I'm buzzing down the way, and I figured, well, they're going to fly up, and get out of the way. Pigeon flew up right at eye height, but I was riding a dresser. I had a fairing on it and a windshield, and he went, boom, up over the top, and I don't think he survived.
Yeah, I did. I got one that missed the windshield and hit my antenna. And I think it cut the damn bird in two. That or took the wing off or something, because I look at my mirror, I see 2 pieces and it hits the road.
An antenna will whip the shit out of you. I know, because I've been in an antenna fight in a parking lot before.
The worst thing I ever hit on my motorcycle was a bee, and it didn't kill it, and it went up inside my helmet and stung me behind my ear. I almost crashed my motorcycle. But I think the worst thing I ever hit was that stupid bee.
I had a bee fly up I had short sleeves on riding in my old Camaro with my elbow out the window, and I had a bee fly up my shirt sleeve one time. Stung the shit out of me too.
I hit a bee in the desert. Where I lived in the desert at the Salton Sea, Highway 86 was a long straight run, and I could see that black bumblebee like a mile away. So I was watching him way off in the distance, and I was going to try to avoid him. No such luck. He hit me right in the face.
Oh,
bullseye.
Yeah.
Got lucky it didn't get you in the eye or anything.
We've been having those carpenter bees show up since the weather's warming up a little bit, looking for spots between the paint where they can bore into my carport roof. And so I got to get my electric swatter out and see if I can clobber some of those suckers.
Well, it ain't as bad as Brodak locusts or cicadas.
Cicadas, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was in the shop. They come into my shop in the summertime over my work table to fly around the light when I leave the door open. And one of them came in last summer and landed in my hair and got stuck. He, you know, because they got prickly all over their legs. They'll stick to anything. And he got stuck in my hair and then started screaming. And it sounded like a baby screaming, going, "Ee!" Scared the shit out of me. And I couldn't get him out for anything as he was all stuck. And of course, last summer, my hair was about half as long, so it was all frizzy and sticking out like that. Man, I had a mess on my hands. He finally got out by himself, and I went and shut the door.
Was it every 7 years?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the variety of the breed of the cicada, but some of them are as long as 17, but they're staggered, so they come out. Some of them come out every summer, and boy, they make a racket. You can't hear yourself think out under the maple tree some nights when they're all up in the limbs.
But we get them in Michigan, but it's the deal to where when we were kids, we'd hear them, and then once in a while we'd find a dead one. And we thought it was a big deal to find a dead cicada.
They're all over everything. They come out and shed.
Well, that's what I heard. We didn't make that Brodak one, and they said that them cicadas were just every place.
Oh, there was thousands of them.
Yeah, they were all. There was one picture I saw on the forum all over Dan Banjock's back. Looked like he was decomposing or something.
Sounds gross.
I've been watching too much CSI.
Sparky, you been flying any combat? Have you got any of the planes up? Or
I haven't flown anything. The weather around here is either raining, icing, or windy.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of afraid of too when we get down there, leave tomorrow, that it's going to be windy. I mean, here it's the same thing. Guys flew on my birthday, and I had other things to do, but the damn wind was, I don't know, 12 miles an hour.
It's been windy down here.
And it was only like 50 degrees. Well, with a 12-mile-an-hour wind, you'll freeze your butt off when it's 50 degrees.
Come on out here, Cabby.
If you looked at weather.com to see what the weather in Huntersville is going to be, it's usually 5 degrees cooler there, and it's supposed to be in the 70s and low 80s here for most of the next few days.
Yeah, that's what it said about. Yeah, in the 70s, and a couple days like 65 or something.
Yeah.
That won't be bad. I'd love to come out there, Charles, but we'd spend all our whole vacation driving.
Yeah. I think it was like 80, 81 or 82 when I was flying today. When I left, it was 88 degrees.
Is that your airplane upside down there with the new motor?
Yeah, I'm working on the muffler's rubbing against the airframe, so I'm standing to waste some material.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get it all fitted back in.
Yeah. I feel like I've taken several steps backwards, trying to put a new motor in an old plane. I'm sure it'll be worth it. I'm hoping it'll be worth it when I get done.
How different does it feel to the Stoker so far, Charles?
You know what? I really haven't had a fair flight. The prop I had on there, the pitch is too low. I couldn't get any good, decent lap times. I must have been flying like over 6 second lap times. It was just too slow to do anything. But the motor seems nice. Wake up. So hopefully tomorrow, I got a phone call from a buddy, and he wants to fly tomorrow. So I'm hoping to repitch the prop tonight, and hopefully I'll have something good to report Monday. Not to mention I'll fly Monday too. So I'm hoping to. I'm anxious because the contest we have out here in LA at Wooden Arrows, Sparky's old stomping grounds, is end of the month.
I probably wouldn't even recognize it because when I was there, it was all grass, and they say now it's all pavement. By the tether car circle, is it paved there too?
No, it's grass there, right around the tether car circle, and then so in front of that is the three asphalt circles, and then they still have the Gopher Gulch where they do combat.
That all used to be grass. There was no
And then-
paper.
And there's a speed cage. There's a speed cage for a 4th asphalt circle.
Never had a speed cage either.
Yeah.
Is that speed cage towards the RC field down there?
Yeah. Toward the RC field. What?
Towards the freeway or towards the RC circle?
Toward the RC circle. Toward the
What you got
RC
there?
area.
What you got there, Jamie?
LA46, right?
Yeah,
Stock new.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the ones that are not blue.
This is the only silver casing I have, and it's the LAS.
Damn, it sure is nice.
It'd be pretty rare in a case.
Now, are the silver ones older or newer than the blue ones?
Same age.
Well, the last ones were all silver anyway, so it's more likely to be a newer one being silver.
Yeah, this is the brand new blue.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
With a plastic, is that a plastic back plate?
Yeah,
Got to get rid of that.
yeah. Where is it? This one. I got last week. I paid $28 for this 46.
Wow.
There's a guy on. I just don't want to. I don't want to let loose my honey hole to everybody.
What's
But-
wrong with the plastic back plates? They just crack or something?
They warp and break.
Uh.
The FP40 backplate fits it like
That's good to know.
Yeah, the Magnum, the Thunder Tiger, or the Tower one, I think they all fit. They all interchange the back plates with the flame-bearing engines interchange.
But yeah,
that's the Chinese way.
Yeah.
I paid $28 for this one from a old man online. He had it in an RC plane, and when I got it, it had the aluminum backplate on it.
That's nice.
Or a aluminum backplate. I don't know exactly, what it came off of, but not too bad. But all the other ones I have are all the plastic. But this one's gonna go in my Gypsy probably whenever we get it sorted out.
You ever gonna finish any of those half-built models there hanging on the wall?
Yeah, it's just that when I get home from work, I'm so tired. It's like I ain't worked on this twister in over 2 weeks. We've been rocking and rolling at work, so whenever I get home, it's like it's not even on my mind to mess with.
Hey, Mark, what are you working on tonight?
I am cleaning up so I can start on my 2018 Ringmaster Flyathon airplane.
Oh,
Who is the guy who sells those Russian combat planes?
No, I forgot his name. I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name. I heard him mentioned a bunch of times. Anybody need some RC carbs for some 46s? I just took a couple of them off.
man, we're kind of a quiet group tonight.
We've got a flying tomorrow at the local school that we're going to go to, and we'll just have a barbecue and stuff. We were going to go down to Taranaki and do some serious stunt flying, but backed out of that at the last minute because I hadn't repaired my stunt model that I'd crashed at Whangarei. So I was mucking around. I got an old model out of the attic. I was clearing up my parents' attic, and this is my version of a bi-slob in a way. And the way it flies, it'll hang on the prop with its little Fox
Wow.
19.
That's what you call a short coupled plane there.
Yeah, it'll just fly on the rudder in the elevator and just hang on the prop. It's a lot of fun to fly it. But I just cobbled it back together for the kids to have a go too. It's very rugged being its own wing.
That's about what my Stuntman 23 looked like when the fuselage got broken behind the wing so many times, and I just glued it 1 inch behind the main wing, and it turned out to be a snappy little FA flyer then.
Yeah.
I've never tried prop hanging though. Maybe I'll get that old plane back out. It's so heavy. It takes the most powerful TD I've got to fly it at all. That would probably prop hang pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's just for a bit of fun, that one. I built it over 20 years ago, that one. Probably getting on to 30 years ago now. But yeah, it's nice pulling them out and seeing what they'll do. And I also find new life in my boys' hands, and they think it's a great new novelty. They think it's terrific when you pull out an old model and they get to fly it. So,
Yeah.
It's,
Always
it's great.
feels good to get those old engines loosened up and hot once in a while too. Here Jamie's showing us another engine. What we got?
That's a brand new FP40. And I got
nice.
this for trading a plastic model kit.
I don't think I've ever owned a brand new engine before,
I only got two.
except for half A's.
I mean, I'm considering sending this one to get worked or whatever. That's what a lot of people recommends for the 40s.
Man, that guy's got a ton of combat planes.
You know, I've heard the opposite about those ABN engines. Is if you start changing the ports, then it breaks down the adhesion between the nickel and the liners, whatever it is, brass or steel, brass, I think, and so they don't last very long. And I don't know how true that is. I'm actually flying one on my twister that's been worked on, and so far it's fine, but I hadn't put that many flights on it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I think it might just be personal preference. I don't know. I can't give a viable answer to it. Even got an extra Venturi with it.
You got two different sizes.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it's two different sizes. But everybody's like, send it to Tom Dixon, let him do whatever to it. I just don't know.
Hey, Mark, have you been doing anything more with your control line simulator?
Actually, I have one last version I'm going to do, and I'm going to call that done. Last thing I posted was the one with the $20.
Just started breaking up so bad your audio went down.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've got 17 meg when I do a speed test, but whenever I start doing this, it shit.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting little project, though. It was really ingenious that you put together. It was a hit. It was a hit on the forums, on both forums.
I'm going to take this and make a very, very, very small one. And I'll start that soon. And I'll post it up.
Do you ever play with them, or do you just put them away after you build them?
For a while, I was doing the beginner's pattern 3 times a night before I went to bed, but I hurt my shoulder, so I haven't played with them in a few weeks.
Now that I just was thinking that might be a little odd doing things like overhead 8s, where you do an overhead 8 in front of you with the simulator, I guess.
Yeah, I can't do the overheads very well. I always end up coming out about 45 degrees off of where I started.
Yeah, reflexes would be kind of counterintuitive that way, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, if I make really, really wide loops on the overhead 8, where it's like 10 feet off the ground, I can usually keep decent orientation. That's about it.
I love the overhead 8.
I never was too good at the overhead 8. I feel like I'm flying it pretty well sometimes, but Wayne always tells me I'm still out in front of myself, and I feel like I'm going way behind myself with it, you know, way back, but he says I'm still too far out front. But that's the one that I have the most problem keeping my balance on too, is coming through the intersection, turning around, and coming down and out. I usually stumble around. Maybe I'll have better reflexes once I get my strength back under both legs, and we'll see how that goes. But it's time for me to start dry flying in the house. I still hadn't turned any circles in the, you know, just to get my inner ear tuned into turning both directions and all the motions I have to go through. But I have found that when I lay off for whatever reason, when I come back, my skills don't really need that much tuning up. I mean, at whatever level I'm at, I hadn't really dropped off as much as you might think if I go for a month or two without flying. It's been a month or two now, though. Been since October.
Well, it's a bit like riding a bike, though. Once you've got the skills there, you have to brush up on them, but you don't quite lose them. You've got to keep them there. But when I was young, 30 years ago, when I did my overhead eights, they said it was my best manoeuvre. But then I had a motorbike accident and stuffed my neck, and that was a really hard manoeuvre to do, it, the stuffed neck. But yeah, no, it's not too hard. I can lean my head back and not feel discomfort. But that thing, if you're supple and you've got good balance and all, you've got a big advantage over people that are struggling in spirit.
It's also the best thing about a spring contest is that none of the guys really have flown much since October either.
Yeah, BS. Them guys that live where Charles have a great advantage over us.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we do.
Them damn Californians.
That's true. It just depends.
Yeah, we could fly all year round here too if we grew flippers. You know, it's just that thing. It's hard when you've got to stodge around in gumboots over winter. It's the hardest part. It's not the cold, it's just the wet. And I hate it when it gets into your models and ruins your models.
Did you notice that knuckleheads, the knuckleheads got a record for endurance?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. I mean, I see him every year at Brodex. Nice guy. Guy wears the glasses and his wife flies too, girlfriend or whatever.
Talking about Canadian.
Lynn. Yeah, I think it was like 2 hours or whatever that they flew that plane or something.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but you know what? They might think they have the record, but Art Schaefer had a record that was like 2 days, but they had a 55-gallon drum of fuel. The pilot had a fuel can on his belt, and the hose went out the lines, and centrifugal force fed the line out there. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Hard to believe you could feed it from that far away.
Oh yeah, centrifugal force, you know, siphon into a hopper.
Yeah, I remember reading about it. I think it's in the control line manual. They talk about it. I think I probably got the article there about it. I remember reading about it, and it seemed quite a feat of endurance, perseverance. I think they use something like a Canby Torpedo 29 or something.
Yeah, they were. It's hanging in Art Schaefer's hobby shop, but they had different, you know, more than one pilot, and they flew for 24-hour, nonstop for a couple of days. It was ridiculous.
That's incredible.
What if that engine still got compression?
Yeah, wondering how many hours it would be good for.
There used to be the old in your ad where they claim they would do 40 hours. An engine would last 40 hours and be still in good nick. Any engines are known for their long life, not necessarily a lot of power, but they're known to endure anyway.
You know, everybody always complained about McCoy 35s and McCoy 40s always wearing out. You know, they were junk. But I have thought if we knew what we knew now, then the McCoy would last a long time. We didn't run any oil in them. I ran my McCoy on missile mist and Cox fuel and whatever I could get a hold of, low caster.
Yeah, I've heard terrible things about the McCoys. People say the metallurgy was inconsistent and some of them would wear out on the first flight. So maybe it was all fuel related.
I would imagine. I mean,
Other people love them.
I do. I have a McGass 40. You ever heard of that?
No.
That's a ringed McCoy 40 by George Aldrich. It's a lightning bolt case with the Series 21 cylinder, piston, and sleeve in it, and head.
That'd be a nice lightweight combination. The best of both worlds, the 21 and the lightning bolt case.
Yeah.
I know the old Fox 40 Stunt was supposed to be a long-lasting, good engine, but I don't know how it would compare to something like an LA now. It would probably be a bit sad power-wise.
Well, the thing about the Fox is that, like Ron O'Toole, he liked the Fox, is the old 57 version, is that it weighed less than 6 ounces. You know, that's how you get your airplane to weigh 28 ounces.
Yeah.
Instead of having a 16-ounce engine up front, you only got a 6-ounce engine.
Yeah.
I got a McCoy 40 that I got from a Tulsa event last year in the raffle. Now, granted, I don't know.
Blue head?
It is, yeah, blue head.
Hold it up here so I can see it.
Offset glow plug.
Yeah.
It looked like somebody chopped the Venturi off.
No, that's an RC motor.
That's the RC one, okay.
That they had a carburetor in it.
Okay.
And you can the front lugs are cut open.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Yeah. Oh, you got the broke. They got it broke open. But that is an
the other ones.
Or it was. Does it have a screw hole? A threaded screw in the exhaust port?
Yep.
That's where the butterfly goes.
Yeah, I won this one in a raffle. I didn't go to the event.
Have a ring in it?
I wouldn't even know where to look. Where would that be at?
Top of the piston.
Yeah, run it down to where you can see the top of the piston through the exhaust.
If it has a ring, it's an RC engine. If it doesn't, it's something else.
It's locked up.
Keep going in 8 years. Well, to fix the lugs.
Let me put a
coffee can of fuel. The motor in my June RXL was locked up when I got it at Brodak 3 years ago from a guy out of Tulsa. Probably the same guy you got that motor from.
He was in a raffle. I gave D Hill PayPal and some money, like, hey, throw me here's $10, put it in a raffle, and just give it to because a lot of people in my club was over there at the event. I'm not seeing anything. I mean, y'all might be able to tell. I can't. No, you probably can't.
You got to get the piston down so we can see the top of it.
I'll just take the head off.
No, you won't be able to see it from there either.
Yeah, there.
I just hold it up and hold it away a little bit further, Jamie, and I'm sure we'll see it.
Let me see. Let's get some light.
No.
Nice.
Light into the exhaust. Yeah. Here's the way to fix it, Jamie.
I got
Jamie. Oh, Jamie, the easy way to fix it is cut out three or four of the little aluminium plates, drill your holes, JB weld, and then put your plates top and bottom of the lug hole. That's broken, that's chipped out.
Yeah.
And that'll last.
Clamp it down.
You can use like a full strength araldite, but JB weld's just as good for that sort of thing, and you'll fix your broken lug problem. I've got a motor that I did that to 30 years ago, and it's still going fine. I got it cheap, and I never even noticed it had a broken lug on it. And somebody at our club at the time just said, "Yeah, just put plates on it, top and bottom, glue it, and you'll be fine. Re-drill it." And
I got an FP40 that's got that same problem, a broken corner of the lug opening up the hole. So that's what I was thinking I'd do, is just clamp it down with a piece of aluminum.
I mean, it's like I can't even tell what I'm looking at. I mean, it just looks like the top of the piston, but it looks like almost like a ring on top of it, so like it's hollow on top.
No, you have to look at it through the exhaust port, and there'll be a line all the way, or line at the top of the piston, about a 1/16 of an inch wide.
No, there's not one of those. No.
Another clue though, if it's ringed, it'll have bridges in the exhaust. If there's no bridges in the exhaust, then it wouldn't support a ring. The ring would get stuck in your exhaust.
Yeah, that's enough.
It didn't look like it had any.
Got like this weird thing on the inside of it, but I mean,
We can't see in there.
yeah,
That might help.
it looks like a cage pretty much on the inside.
Well, then that is an RC motor. Yeah, that's an RC motor. That's a ringed engine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the bridges. Yeah, yeah. Those little cages stops the ring jamming in your exhaust port.
Oh yeah, I guess that would bring it to a remarkable halt.
You can poke it with some ATF and hit it with a heat gun, Jamie, and it'll get it turning over, no trouble, I'm sure.
You can throw it in a can fill of fuel. You can put it in a crock pot with antifreeze in it and let it soak, for a while.
Yeah, I got a jar of old fuel I use for soaking them.
I got it to turn. All I did was just put a prop on it and turned it. I couldn't turn it by hand.
It's
So,
better than a pair of vice grips.
a lot of people are convinced they're dead when they won't turn, but a little bit of patience and persistence, and you normally get them turning. Don't have to.
That's what I usually do. Whenever the engine's froze, I just put a few drops of fuel in there and just work it, and bam. But I got a screw missing out the back plate, and I don't know what thread it is.
It's
540, I think.
But when I put my finger over it, got some compression.
If it's ringed, it won't have compression like an ABN or ABC engine. You've really got to run it to see how it goes.
Yeah, depending on the type of ring, if it had a Dykes ring in it, you wouldn't feel any compression until it's lit and hot.
Oh, I think Steve might want to talk now. I think he's still muted.
Oh, there he is. Let me turn his microphone back on. Hang on, Steve. I'm trying to unmute your microphone.
So what I got is a useless motor.
There we go. Now you can talk, Steve.
Well, were you guys getting feedback or something off my mic, or?
I muted it when you picked up the phone.
Oh. Yeah, I worked out all day on my damn truck.
Now Mark's muted. Did I mute you by accident, Mark, or did you mute yourself?
I muted it myself, so I can see feedback.
Okay.
Well, guys, I'm going to make me a TV dinner and go to bed.
All right, Sparky.
Take her easy.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, so what's the thing with Google? You were saying last week that we might not do this on Google, or?
Google is closing down the Hangouts for everybody. I guess it's not very popular, so that they're getting rid of that feature. And I knew about it, and they've come up with a new camera option that's going to replace it. So it's not going. We're not going to be allowed to interact with each other on Google, on YouTube. So we have to go over to our alternative site and record it and upload it, and to be viewed later.
Oh, I see. But we can still talk like this all together, or?
Yeah.
On our other site, have you been on our other site?
Yeah, when the other one messed up there for a while. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one, yeah. If we if I can't get mine to record without overloading, is there any way somebody else could record it with OBS? You could record it, Sparky, and then upload it even while I'm hosting it?
Possibly. I've never tried that.
We'll have to get back together and figure it all out. Maybe I go back through the settings and like I did before and find out, but I might just not have enough horsepower.
I'm calling on gamers who are 12 to 18 years old to give us a hand.
Yeah, good idea. We'll figure it out. There's no way I want to stop doing this just because the Hangouts goes away. So
yeah, I figured, you know, they'd keep it around. That's really weird. You get something you like and stuff, and then
yeah.
Well, that's par for the course.
Yeah,
yeah, it's life today, isn't it? Yeah, can't leave nothing alone.
well, it's like I went to Napa to get some primer. They had one can, and they said we can special order it. So I guess they're not. That one isn't gonna keep it on the shelf.
Oh crap!
I'm like,
order a case. I buy it by the case.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago never to buy just 1 or 2 cans.
Yeah,
But
they had one.
shopping
I
list.
picked it up, but I couldn't believe it. I'm like, well, damn, no, that store. You know, I guess I had to get it by the case or whatever because they're not gonna keep it on the shelf. Doesn't move fast enough or whatever.
When I got mine, they only had 3 cans, so I bought them out.
It might be a regional thing. I bet they're not discontinuing it across the board, but I am going to go to Napa this week, if not tomorrow, and go ahead and buy mine. But hopefully I'll be ready to get started on.
I hear Sig has Silk Span back in stock too.
Who does?
Sig.
Oh, Sig does?
I don't think I've got any silk span. I do have Dr. Paper. I'd rather have span.
I thought silk span had been stopped because it was used for tea bags or something, and somebody said they weren't using, they're using synthetic tissue instead of natural tissue for tea bags now.
I had heard that too.
I can't remember if it's back anyway.
Has anybody here ever used the Dr. Paper?
I have.
You like it?
It works pretty good.
Yeah, it works. Works good.
Okay, that's what I'm going to use.
Yeah, I've been using the Florist synthetic paper, the Vilene, and that's been really good. I've been quite happy with that.
No, the Dr. Paper I got from Tom Morris, I cut a 1 foot by 1 foot out of both my silk span and the Dr. Paper. And I forget how many grams, but it was exactly double the weight of my silk span.
Mine feels kind of heavy too.
I mean, right, because we did the test on the on YouTube, John and I, and it's the same weight. You can't tell the difference between the two, and they work the same.
Oh, so maybe it was just the paper that I got then.
It comes in different grades, I think.
Was that the stuff from? Did you get yours from Tom Morris or?
No, we got ours off of Amazon.
I got mine from the doctor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I got mine from Tom Morris, and I don't know. It felt heavy, and I weighed it, and it's like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it weighed twice as much. But
yeah, what I've got feels heavier too, but I'm going to use it.
I'm gonna go, guys. Take it easy.
Sparky.
Take it easy.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Good night, Sparky.
I wonder where Tom is tonight. Maybe he got burned up, fell asleep, building so much.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, we've got one more joining us.
Yeah.
Otto.
Oh, hey, Otto.
Yeah, I just came off the bar. I was mowing both circles.
Yeah, well, he's really great at mowing our control line circles. He doesn't seem to suffer the old age effects or anything that was sore kidneys or whatever. My guts just complain after mowing for a couple of hours on the ride on night.
I felt a bit. I feel like jelly after doing that, so I had to ride on the bike.
Yeah, it's hard yucca mowing the 2 flying circles. but I'll go and mow the orchard after for you.
Yeah, well.
It's nice to have circles that you can ride your bike around too.
Oh, you got an orchard? You guys grow kiwis?
No, we don't grow the kiwi fruit. We've just got
apple trees, pears, oranges, mandarins,
fee jars.
Oh, man, sounds great.
What else? Quinces.
Yeah.
Quinces, persimmons. Your nuts, the macadamia nuts.
Yep.
Got macadamia.
I love macadamia nuts, but you got to be. I learned you got to be careful eating them. If you eat too many too fast, it'll make your stomach really hurt.
You haven't had that yet, have you?
No, I haven't had
you're an expert cracking them open. You love your macadamia nuts.
Yeah.
I've never seen one in the shell. I don't even know what it looks like in the shell.
Are they a fairly big tree, a macadamia nut tree, or?
They look a bit like the basil leaf tree. Similar to that. They're not terribly big. The one we've got here would be 20 years old. It still looks shrub-like. It doesn't get hugely big.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah. Some of our other fruit trees are a lot bigger than it.
They're a slow grower.
Yeah. Our apricot's probably our biggest tree. And some of our apple trees are quite huge now too. We had to take some of the trees out. They're just growing too closely together and thin them out.
It's just we've got all these different apple trees and nice around some of the other ones.
Yeah, the apple trees here now, they got dwarfs. Michigan grows just a crap load of apples.
North Carolina's big apple country. Riding up near the mountains, you see a lot of apple orchards.
Yeah.
And that's the best time to ride through and stop at the roadside stands and pick up apples.
Yeah, we got two roads here. We got Peach Ridge and Fruit Ridge. And when you drive on them, I mean, there's less orchards there now because there's businesses. But when I was a kid, I mean, it was just 100 and some miles, nothing but orchard after orchard after orchard for apples and stuff. There's still some big ones, but that was one reason why refrigeration was so big in this area. And a lot of people got trained was because of all the orchards and fruit school and everything.
Yeah. We stuffed up this year with my broken arm. I couldn't spray the fruit trees, and they've all got bugs in them this year.
Yeah, we've got these. What are they called? It's
like a cuddling moth. Cuddling moth. We got that really bad because I didn't spray. I left everything to do the organic thing this year with my broken arm. I couldn't
almost every single one is.
They eat all the leaves up, or do they eat the fruit?
Oh, they eat the fruit. They
burrow into the core.
They get into the little bottom bit, and then they get in there, and then it turns brown.
Yeah, so you can eat them, but you've got to go over each apple, cut it in half, and cut the core out. So
if you don't get to the apples quick enough, they do, and then it turns brown and rots.
Yeah, so we had basically a year where my veggie gardening went to the pack, and the orchard went to the pack because I broke my arm. So you sort of see the repercussions of these things.
We live in peach country here. We actually produce and export more peaches than the peach state Georgia does, and the trouble is it's not uncommon to have a late cold snap and ruin the whole crop. So I hope we can get through April without freezing the little buds and get a good season.
We'll probably get them here in our supermarkets come April, May. We'll start getting your fruit because we do import as well as export a lot of fruit, but at least you can have it virtually all year round. You've got fresh fruit in the supermarkets. But our fruit season's coming to an end. Everything is either ready for harvest or gone rotten. That's pretty much.
All the plants are just dying off.
Yeah. All the leaves are dropping now. We've just got to wait for the citrus.
Feijoas are coming into their own there.
Yeah, feijoas now, and it'll be the citrus. So.
Guavas are coming into their own.
Yeah, we've got quite a few orange trees, don't we?
Yeah, we've got quite a few. Right.
I love oranges, but that's one of the things I'm not supposed to eat much of because it's too much potassium for my system.
Now, are your oranges down there kind of green looking?
Not really. No, we've got different varieties. We've got the old navel orange, and I can't remember the names of the varieties, but we've got a few different limes and lemons here that we're growing too. A bit of different citrus.
When I was in Jamaica, the lemons were green and not yellow. I didn't see a single yellow lemon the whole time I was in Jamaica.
They might have been limes.
No, they were lemons. They called them lemons, and they taste like lemons.
Okay.
Green.
Our limes, we've got two different varieties, and one is it's more orangey yellow than it is green, but
Really?
they're a very nice lime. Yeah, and then we've got another couple of trees that are have more of a traditional looking lime tree with a very green fruit, green flesh.
That's when I was in Florida almost 2 years ago now, 1 year and a half ago, I guess. And they were picking oranges, and I'm like, why are they picking them like that? You know, the things aren't ripe. He said, oh yeah, they're ripe, but they were juice oranges, but they weren't orange. You see a little bit of color on them, but basically they're kind of a brownish looking fruit. But I guess that, you know, they grow them strictly for juice.
Yeah.
Well,
One of our
a
plum
lot
trees.
of people just breed them for certain things.
It's like the maize.
A lot of people breed them for certain things, like Granny Smith is generally not for eating; it's generally just for cooking and stuff.
And we've got a plum variety that's almost green when it's ripe, and when you let it get too red, it just falls to bits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It makes beautiful jam though. It's a really nice plum for jam. But yeah, I suppose some of the modern varieties are bred for a certain purpose, like you say, and their normal characteristics are different. I suppose it's like how carrots used to be purple in the old ancient days, and they were bred. The Dutch bred them into an orange color that we've come to know.
Carrots used to be purple?
Yeah, and you go back to the medieval era, they were purple, and it's only really in modern times, the last 300 or 100 years or so, that they've actually bred them into an orange color.
You know, the bananas that we eat now are not even close to the same flavor and variety that we ate as kids, because all the original ones are gone. I don't think they can be brought back, if I understand right, and they're not nearly the same flavor they used to be. So I've heard the bananas might disappear altogether, but I'm sure they'll find one way to preserve the crops.
Yeah, the plantain banana is the one that took over, but before that, a lot of the other varieties were more stumpy, short bananas and very different flavors. We actually grow bananas here as well, but we're a bit cold really to grow them prolifically.
It takes 2 years for a banana to ripen, doesn't it?
Yes, sort of, like 2 years. It sort of forms its shape in the first year and ripens in the second year.
Yeah. So if it gets cold, then it can't survive that.
Well, now, some friends there, he's Cuban, but I don't know if they family worked, they went into like Central America or whatever and worked on banana plantation, but they call it plantain. And the stuff that they eat is totally different than...
It's a fibrous type consistency or texture.
But they don't eat the bananas. But he's like, he goes, that's, white people eat them. We eat all this other stuff. But they fry. I mean, he made dishes and stuff with what I call a banana, but he calls it plantain. But man, these
I grew up on that, Steve.
Yeah,
I grew up on that.
Yeah, we've got plantains.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I'm from Panama, and that's a staple we have with every meal. And it's
real starchy, as opposed to
plantanos. We'd fry it in oil and then put some powdered sugar on it, and it'd be delicious.
Yeah, because they're not sweet like bananas. They're really starchy, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his mom, when we were, I was a kid back then. I was in my 20s. but his mom would cook stuff up for him and stuff, and he'd bring it into the shop, and I was like, oh my God, was that food good? But all the different plantain, the way they cook different, you know, he brought one in one time, and they were just like little teeny bananas or something. Just
I've seen them, and I've also seen them really big too.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you had coconut rice?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's just another West Indian dish I absolutely love.
I've heard of it. But my grandmother grew up in the Wallis Islands, and she brought some of her traditions with my mother, has passed on some of them, and we've got some island variety, and like they had a large banana that was very, very large diameter one. They called the Vundi banana, and that was very delicious, a beautiful pinkish flesh. And then the little lady's fingers bananas, which were like tiny little fingers, like ladies' fingers. And again, there's different varieties of bananas that look nothing like what you get in the shops. And I really like just those exotic tastes of those unusual bananas. But it's the same, the Maori population here, the indigenous population here, grow quite different things to what white people would obviously regard as normal. In the past, they grow their kumara and their they grow taro in the past, and they bake it under the ground in what they call the Polynesians will call it an umu, and they'll call it a hangi, and they'll grow they'll cook it over hot stones in the ground. But yeah, a lot of the varieties of food that you get in New Zealand are quite unusual, because you've got foods from the Pacific, a lot now from Asia, and then stuff that we're importing from America and from Europe. So you're getting a real crossover, a real fusion of all different foods here.
What you got there, Jamie?
Trainer that my club president guy had I guess design made, and he had gave me one months ago. It's just whenever I would fly it with the lines I had, it just was it was quirky. And I think the lines I had came with a bunch of stuff I had bought from somebody, and I don't think they were exactly equal. So like when I hold my hand neutral, it wasn't neutral pretty much. And so I got a brand new set of 60-foot Tom Morris lines.
Those are always cut to length really perfectly.
Yeah, and I'm going to try it tomorrow to see if it changes things before I go to messing and adjusting there. Because this plane's some years old.
What's the planer?
I thought it was a twister when I first saw it.
Nah, it's called it a Mentor.
Oh, I see. It's got a swept back or a swept forward wing.
Yeah, got flaps and
yeah.
And this one, yeah, okay. It's foam. I'm gonna call it foam core. It's got foam in between the ribs. So,
oh, really? Just a insert of foam in between the balsa ribs?
That I'm not so sure. I'm not sure how he did it. I'm not sure. I know the first one he built, the bell crank is right here through the cockpit. You know, kind of like how this Ringmaster trainer that Pat King has. You see how the slot for the bell cranks in the fuselage? That's the very first one he built like this is made like that. This one, the bell crank's actually in the wing. And he's made a bunch of them, quite a few of them. I really have no info about it. He's just like, hey, you want a Mentor? Sure. I'll take any plane anybody wants to give, you know. I mean,
well, your baby's getting big.
Huh?
So your baby's getting big.
Oh, you're just waiting for her to start crawling. She don't want to crawl. When she crawls, she goes backwards.
How old is she?
7 months yesterday.
Oh, we entered Otto in his first contest when he was 6 months old. You've still got the model we entered. We built a model, and I got him to put his handprints on the tissue, an indoor hanger rat, and he put his handprints on the tissue, and then all he had to do was let it go. I wound it up, and he let it go, and we flew at the Nationals. And he came last in the event, but the guy that came first was 90 years old. And so yeah,
a little bit different in ages there, huh?
Yeah, when we went to our last Nats, Otto was 6 months old. The same guy was there flying the same event, nearly 10 years later. So he's pretty much 100 years old, and he's still out there flying. Angus McDonald's, he's a local celebrity here, but quite an amazing guy.
I've got other things.
Okay.
Yeah, like that plane got a 40 LA on it, and I got an APC, I think 11.5. But he told me that a Thunder Tiger 11.4.5 would be better. So I just so happened to get a couple of them, and so I'm going to try that with it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, somewhere 10, 11.
We were running the Thunder Tiger 10. What were they at? 10.55 or 10,
something like that. Yeah.
and the LA 40s really liked them. But
Yeah, I mean, I had asked him today about it because this used to be his like personal plane. And he said the 11.4.5 just flew really good with it. So, and at the time when I got it, all he had on it was an APC 11.5.
For my 40 sized engines, I like the APC 10.5, 4.5. And that seems to be a good one for the FPs anyway.
Hey guys, I got to get off. I'm going to try to get on Monday, but I don't know because I won't be at my computer and I never have much luck.
Where are y'all going to be staying?
I don't even know. We'll find a place. I'll get a place tomorrow.
The Super 8 in Huntersville on Old Statesville Road is where us contest goers usually stay, and it's a very accommodating, and they always give us a discount if we tell them we're with the control line contest. So let them know why you're there, and maybe they'll give you a discount.
All right, that sounds good.
They're extremely friendly to us, so they like our business.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
Look at them little handprints.
Yeah, 6-month-old Otto. I think I embarrassed him out, but it was the model he flew. I just put a string on it and he had to let go of the string once it was wound up, and he flew it indoors. Yeah. So yeah, Jamie, that's a 6-month-old Otto handprint.
All right, that's a pretty big handprint for a 6-month-old.
He was big. He's still big for a 10-year-old now. He's pretty big. Too many good eats.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll try to get on here Monday. Charles.
Okay, Steve.
All right, see you, Steve.
At least come on and type in the chat box if you can't get in.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Let you guys know I'm watching or whatever. I wanted to see if Tom got that airplane cleared or whatever, but he ain't on tonight.
He might come on later.
Oh, but already. I'll see you guys a little later.
Good night.
Yep.
Good night.
Bye.
That time's just marching along pretty quick tonight. Oh, I'm looking forward to a nice weather weekend. I want to get out in the shop and do some plane building. Maybe Wayne will call me, want to go flying. I'm not going to initiate it unless he calls me and wants to, though.
Oh man, I'm calling that dude like, hey, let's go fly.
I don't even.
Be flying tomorrow, hopefully.
I don't even know if I could pit right now. I might have to let go of the plane and crawl off on my hands and knees and then get up off the ground.
I feel like that right now. My back is aching. I stuffed my back trying to spray. I was weed spraying, and I did too many loads in a backpack sprayer, and I've killed my back. It's been aching for the last 2 weeks. And last week I was trying to help another guy who has back problems, and I was thinking it's like blind leading the blind, but it's one guy with backache helping the other.
That's like when Holly had the broken foot and I had the broken hip at the same time. It was the gimps leading the gimps.
Well, I suppose you're at least sharing the experience in a way. You know, one's not better off than the other, but yeah, it's a hard one. They're both down, but it's a bit like that for my mother and father. Their health both deteriorated at the same time, but luckily my brother's able to help them a lot.
Yeah, my parents are getting pretty feeble themselves. They still live in their own house by themselves, and I can see the day coming soon when it's time to, you know, do something to the alternative. That's life and death.
Yeah. It sounds like they've had a good long run if they're still in their own house looking after themselves.
Yeah, and they're both in their mid and late 80s. So.
It's good going. So you winning, Charles? Have you got your exhaust cut away?
Yeah, I had to remove some wood to make a clearance with a muffler, and I'm just kind of sealing it up with CA.
Okay, let's talk glow plugs.
All right. What you want to know, or what do you think?
Thunderbolt glow plugs.
What I use when I can.
Are they good?
Oh,
Like,
really?
like if I know that from what I understand, they don't make them no more. So if I come across like a deal on them, jump on them.
Yes.
I would, yeah. Some people say that they're a little more fragile than others, but I've never had one go bad on me. And I've used both the ones with and without the idle bar, and I can't tell any difference. Now, I might if I flew inverted engines, so I don't know about that. But they are always really good plugs for me. My next favorite is the Enya 3, which is a pretty hot plug, and it looks to me like it's a little shorter, but and it doesn't have an idle bar, but it's a good plug. If I can't find a Thunderbolt, I'll go with an Enya 3.
They're getting hard to find now too, though. A lot of the places that stock them seem to always be out of stock.
Yeah, if I find Thunderbolts, I'm on at least buy a couple of them.
Yeah, because there was a guy on this site that was selling, I think he had 6 of them among some other glow plugs for I think 6 or $6.50 each. And he was giving off like, you know, buy any amount of glow plugs, spend over $25 free shipping, you know, whatever. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should get. In fact, here it is right here. Just found them. Yeah. He's got 5 Thunderbolts. $6.50 each.
They got the idle bar or not, or do you know?
I can't even, and from what I can see, the little bit I can read on it, it's a yellow packaging with a little red lightning bolt, and the first word I see is RC long.
That's what you want.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, whether or not it's got the idle bar, I don't think it makes any difference for us guys that fly mostly profiles either.
Yeah, because he has some K&B plugs, the Fox plugs, Globy.
I've heard terrible things about Fox plugs, but then other people seem to love them. It's one of those matters of opinion, I guess.
I like them. They don't last. I've used a lot of Fox plugs. I was the importer here in New Zealand for Fox, so I brought in a ton of Fox plugs, but they never really lasted that well. They don't have the thick element like the Enya has. But my new favorite plug is this one. That's my favorite.
The Brodak. Let me click on that.
Yeah, back it up a little bit, Gerald. A little bit more.
A little more.
A little more. You're getting there.
You're getting there. Focus.
There we go. A little bit more. I tell you what. Hey, hold it right there. Put your hand in front of it and drop your hand down. No. Just hold it. Put your other hand in front of it and then drop it down. Block it. Completely block it from the camera. Block it from the camera. Now, no. Put it like this.
Block it completely. No.
Like you see how I'm holding the card? Yeah, there you go. Now drop your hand. Nope. Okay, now move your hand. Shit. No, it didn't work.
It didn't.
I'll read it out. That's the obvious one. It's a hot Stunt control line aerobatics plug for 0 to 15% nitro, and the code number on it is MG2005. But it's their control line Stunt plug.
Is that a Merlin plug, Gerald?
This is a Brodak plug, but I think it might be a Merlin underneath it. I think they're rebranding somebody else's plug.
He sells other plugs that are made by Merlin.
Yeah. It's got the red ring on it that's distinctive, and I noticed a lot of other people are using the same plug around here because we can get them, and Brodak are pretty good supplying us here in New Zealand. So my next order from Brodeck, I'll have to get a Victor 40 and a whole lot of plugs and maybe some more props. But yeah, it's a consumable. I just go through so many plugs when we're flying every week. I just seem to have to have replacement plugs every week we go out flying. But because it's not just me flying, but my 2 sons and my wife.
Yeah.
Going for a lot more gear.
I hardly ever have to change a plug for any reason. I have on occasion had one quit working, but not very often, or sag when you pull the igniter off of it. That'll tell you if the plug's not good or not. If the platinum coating starts to wear off, then it'll get a little weak.
Yeah, they sort of go frosty colored, and they just don't work the same after a while.
I had a batch of SIG fuel several years back that caused all of my half-A plugs to turn frosty. And I could clean them with alcohol and they'd work a little bit and then go bad again.
Yeah, because he got some K&B high performance and long reach, some Hanger 9 4-cycle plugs, and some Globies racing plugs.
Hi, Dennis.
Howdy.
Oh, hey, Dennis.
I'm trying to get my my phone's not rotating for some reason. There we go.
So I just messaged him, so if he still got the Thunderbolts, I might get them and distribute them around the club or something.
Yeah, they're good to have. Like I said, Thunderbolts and Enyas are my 2 go-to plugs. When I first got into these, 35 and up sized engines, I was recommended to get OS number 8s, but those are a little shorter than the RC longs.
Yeah, they're too short for some engines.
I think the SIG RC long, I don't know who manufactures it, but that's a good plug.
Let me see. I think I have one of those right here. Let's see. What do I got? Yes. Ow, damn. What the hell? All right. RC long glow plug.
That's it. Yeah, those are good
one
plugs.
of my extras, and I have one of them OS number 8 mediums. And that's the only 2 new plugs I had. I had like 2 Fox plugs in there. My dad came over. I said, here you go. You like Fox so much. Take this junk. I don't want it. Don't want it in my box.
I'm not sure if I've got any new plugs now. I'd have to replace it with an old one. I guess that's about time for me to start shopping for contest supplies like propellers and a couple of spare glow plugs and things like that.
Yeah, like I said, that's the only 2 new ones I got. I got a few engines I got plugs on them, and they all still light up. So
I think I'm going to have to
light up. It's good for me.
I think I'm going to get a couple of quarts of SIG fuel too. And I'm also, since I've got a kind of a short fuel supply on my twister, I think I might buy some 5%, see if I can get a little more mileage out of it. But I've never used 5% fuel before. Do any of y'all know if there's much difference in power and ease of cranking or anything if you drop the nitro down to 5?
You might as well run nothing, in my view. By the time you get down to 5%, it's so little gain over 80-20 or just a standard no nitro fuel. I prefer to run 10. At least I can notice a difference. 15 on those motors that want it, but on 5% you'll get better economy. But I just don't think it runs that well. It doesn't seem to make enough difference to justify putting 5% in at that point.
Yeah, I'd rather not drop the nitro percentage.
It all depends upon the motor, but I've used 5% on my stalker, and my stalker does not like nitro, so that's about as high as I've gone, is 5%. When I gone above it, my motor does not perform any better. Actually, it performs worse.
Yeah. Maybe I'll skip that idea. Hey, Wally's joined us on YouTube 10 minutes ago. I didn't even notice he had posted on the chat box. Hey, Wally. Sorry we missed your entry. He says,
hey, Wally,
can't get onto the Hangout tonight. Must have a bandwidth problem.
But like what some guys do out here is they will start off the day with like 5%, and then as the day warms up, they will just increase the nitro to get the same engine run.
Yeah.
Some guys have like a you know a 15% and a 10% and a 5%. They just keep mixing the fuels to get the motor run they really had early in the morning when you had all the power in the morning.
Yeah.
What in the world?
That's Dennis's garage door opening and closing.
That's
Hey,
what,
I'm gonna have to mute myself a second.
Okay. He's got him a long neck beer too.
lucky fella.
Could do one of them.
I think I got a kitty cat at my window. Let me go get it before he pulls the screen out.
Oh man, you better shoot it.
No, I'm a cat fan. Our cats follow us out to the flying field when we go out flying and keep us company when we're flying. I'm working on the car. The cats jump in the car with me. When all the kids are at school and everybody's gone, I've got cats for company all the time. 5 cats. But yeah, I like them.
No, I tell you what, come get some of them old tomcats I got that hang around my house and mess up my trash.
If we catch them and they need to be fixed, we get them fixed, and then they generally cause a whole lot less problem. But we're in a rural area, so it'd be overrun with rats and vermin if we didn't have cats.
I wish they just killed the possums and everything that keep coming underneath my house and trying to get in my AC ducts.
Our possums are a curse with our fruit trees, but yeah, I suppose there's worse things out there.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I'm just thinking, you got possums there, we've got possums here. Something, a universal problem around the world.
Yeah. I don't mind them. They just make noise. And they scare the shit out of you whenever you don't, when you walk around in the dark or whatever in the shed with no light on, you turn and bam, all you have is that in your face, It's the last thing you really want to see.
Yeah, not pretty, are they? They don't sound nice.
Oh, no. I knew a girl. I used to work with a chick that looked like a possum.
They look like a what? Like a fox?
Awesome.
A possum.
Oh, possum. Yeah.
Was it the nose or was it the eyes?
Well, it's bedtime for me.
Thought you were going to sing a song about Possum Girl.
Oh, Possum Girl, you ruined my world. Even though you're female, you still stole my girl.
Who was it on Stunthangar that had the control line song?
Yeah.
It was amusing. Yeah,
all right. I gotta go. Oh, lady's waiting for me, so I'll catch up later.
All right.
Okay, well, good night.
Good night. We got 9 viewers on YouTube.
All right.
It's good to know they're hanging with us. That's what I hate about having to move. If this Hangouts goes away, it's because we get all these people that like to watch us live. And I know they can watch the reruns, but still they can communicate with the chat if they got a question or an answer.
Yeah, we lose a few too, yeah. It's been great, but yeah, I suppose something new always comes along. Things always change, and I'm sure
we'll find a way to keep doing it.
Yeah.
We might have to go absent for a week or 2 or something while we figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis, what are you working on?
The wing for the Gladiator.
Oh, very cool.
Almost done.
That's a classic legal. Classic legal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna have it ready in like 4 weeks.
What's that?
You're gonna have it ready in like 4 weeks.
Be ready in 4 weeks? No.
Yeah. Are you going to fly classic at the Bob Palmer?
No, I'm shooting this one for Golden State.
All right. So what events are you going to fly at the contest?
Well, I'm sorry, Charles. I had trouble hearing you.
What events are you going to fly at the contest?
Hang on here a second. Did I lose you?
No, you're still there. I said, what events are you going to fly at the Bob Palmer?
I'll fly a profile, classic, and advanced.
Okay. I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm going to try to have a profile ready. And I have an Oriental for a classic, but if I was to fly it, it would be just to make noise. I don't have it anywhere close to being trimmed. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I can't remember which one they fly. I can't remember which one they fly first, but I hope it's classic because that's my throwaway event. Because I fly a flight streak and I don't have no chance. But it's just to get me loosened up for competition.
Right. Yeah, I have a Skyray I might bring for class. I mean for a profile.
Hey, Charles.
What?
I'm sorry. Kevin McElroy just spoke to you. He says the Stregalor flaps are now glued in. Does he mean?
All right. Yeah, he has a Nobler that he's cut off the turtle deck.
Oh.
And put a bubble canopy on it, and I think he changed the rudder. It looks more like a Strega, but it was a Nobler.
It's a Straggler. Okay. Well, the flaps are glued in now.
All right, very good. Keep it going.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
All right. Somebody else joining us.
Oh, you got your cat there.
Yeah, I'm already going to go and feed him. He's demanding his dinner. So,
Well, anyways, your Gladiator looks good.
Yeah,
it's getting there. It's getting there. They got the landing gear blocks in, wingtip weight, lead out guide, controls are in, almost all the way. It's all cap stripped and everything. I got to put some vertical. I like to put vertical webbing between the spars, some 1/32.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And that
Who makes that kit?
Huh?
Who makes the kit?
This
is that a kit or you?
Fresh.
Oh, very good. Pardon me.
Dennis, when you put your shear webbing in, do you face mount it to the spars or make it fit like a I-beam in between the spars?
No, I face mount it to the spars.
That's probably best. That's the way I do it too, because that way they do less damage if you do wreck it. They just pop off as opposed to tearing everything up.
It's a lot easier to put them in too.
It sure is.
Yeah, a lot quicker. Yeah, you can just glue them on and trim them off, as opposed to trying to get a good friction fit.
And a lot of people say they're only effective for the first 25% out from the fuselage, and after that, you don't really need them. I don't know.
I go all the way out.
Yeah.
When it gets done, that wing, I can twist it, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it looks like you got them at the trail edge too, do you?
No, there's nothing on the trailing edge. No, that's all open. But I've sheeted with, instead of 16th, I use 3/32. Both
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
you don't have it sinking in between the ribs.
Yeah, because the rib spacing on this is almost 3 inches apart. And 16th would just sag too much.
What motor are you going to use on the Gladiator?
What's that?
Sorry, what motor are you going to use on the Gladiator, Dennis?
LA 46.
Oh, the proven one. Yep.
That must be the most popular mid-sized engine there is.
Yeah.
Well, it's the most, to me, it's one of the easiest running. You don't have to do anything to it.
Yeah. Now, do you?
And it's got plenty of power.
Do you run yours in a 4.2 or just straight 2?
Just a small break to a 4.2.
Yeah.
Mostly 2.
That's the way I run mine too. I feel a lot better when I'm about to pull into that first wing over, knowing the power is already there when I yank the upline. Not that I yank it.
I even gone my profile that I fly with. I have an LA-46 on there. It's got what 500 or 604 inches, 605 square inch wing, and I end up still flying too fast. And so to reduce the speed, I ended up going with the LA-25 Venturi on that.
Mm-hmm.
And what a big improvement. I mean, yeah, it backed it down and slowed the plane down, but the fuel draw on it was a lot better.
Much better, yeah. Wally says he's going to try to get on Monday. And I think he's bidding us good night. We'll see you later, Wally. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you can get hooked up Monday.
Good night, Wally. I'm going to go and take the cue this cat's going there and go and feed them and going off for tonight.
Okay.
Well, been good battering.
Kind of had a relaxing Friday night here, so we'll see you after hopefully a good weekend.
Yep, yeah. Hopefully we'll get some good flights in tomorrow. The weather will hold good.
Hopefully,
good weather.
Hopefully we can make some stories to tell each other over the weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good.
See you later.
Good night, Charles.
Good night, Gerald.
Good night.
Charles, you seen my Circulus 46, the profile?
Charles's room is empty.
Oh, here I am. I'm sorry, my wife called.
Have you seen my Circulus 46, the profile?
I believe so.
It was on the newsletter that
Al Heiger does?
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen it before. I remember when you had it. It's a good looking plane.
Flies pretty good too.
Yes. I remember you told me that. I remember it flew pretty good right off the bench.
Yeah. Until Brett Buck flew it.
What do you do?
And when he flew it, he said, no, this is all wrong. I thought it flew great. And, we ended up adding more tail weight, adjusting lead outs, and it flies even better.
I was going to ask you if you liked it better after he did that, after thinking it was good.
It was hilarious. He takes off, beautiful takeoff, nice, beautiful. I mean, it was a 40-point takeoff, no problem at all. He just wants to feel it out, and so he went to do a wing over, and it didn't quite come up the way he thought it would come up. And then he said, well, then he went around and did a loop, and wanted to do a loop, and all of a sudden I heard, whoa, you know, and he stopped and he leveled out. And he said the controls are way too slow. And I said, well, they feel fine to me. He said, no, this ain't right. So that's when we started to go back and adjusting things. And sure enough, I found out what it's like to have a plane that's right.
Yes. See, I don't know what a plane feels like when it's right. It's all I've flown is my own.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you know?
Yeah. All I know is it looks a hell of a lot easier when other people are flying the pattern than it does when I fly the pattern.
Now, when I remember that what you told me was funny when didn't Brett Buck fly your Circular 60 also?
No, he hasn't flown that one yet.
Now, which one did he fly? And you was kind of surprised how low he was during the bottoms of the maneuvers. And then
that was the 46, the profile.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that was the one he did the nice, beautiful 4.5-foot pullouts. I mean, it looked
Yeah.
beautiful. And he came back and he said that I wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I would love to fly a really good flying plane. You know, if one of these experts let me fly one of their planes, that'd be pretty neat. Just so I know what I'm missing. You know, I have no idea.
Well, I don't know if you can make it up here for the stunt clinic that they put on, the Chumley Stunt Clinic.
Yeah.
That is worth coming up just for the learning experience. This year, I think they're going to do things a little bit different because one of the problems they ran into last year, they would judge our flights and tell us where we were having problems. They didn't look at the planes that closely. And what they want to do next year is do like a tech inspection and go through the basic trimming of a plane on the ground, on the bench, to make sure that it's where it needs to be before they start judging our flights.
Good idea.
I think it's fantastic, you know. Because, I don't know. I'm new, and I don't know where things should be and how it should feel. And I just go by, well, it feels all right to me, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You want 5-foot corners? Oh, well, no, I'll give you a 10-foot corner.
I'm not sure who it was, but I remember a story of some expert pilot was flying Mike Palco's plane, and he was just amazed that Mike Palco could fly the plane as well as he did. And he said that if Mike Palco ever got a really good flying plane, he would be really, really good. You know, and I don't know if it was Alan Brink. What was Alan's name? The guy that passed away.
Brickhouse or
Alan Brickhouse.
Yeah, I think it was Alan Brickhouse who made that comment. It was either him or Bob Hunt, but they flew his plane and couldn't believe that he's able to make it look as good as it did. You know.
Well, did you happen to catch at Golden State where Dave Fitzgerald went and flew Paul Walker's P-47?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they went and he did a flight over there just to, you know, I guess Paul wanted him to find out what it felt like to fly what that electric felt like. And so Dave flew it. And Dave kept the maneuvers very big and very high. You can tell that he wasn't quite used to it. It was
right.
Almost like night and day, and flying an electric compared to his PA 78 or whatever it is that he runs. But he was very safety conscious in flying that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. That's probably all his training as a commercial pilot too. You know, just being very safe. You know.
Oh, is Dave a commercial pilot? I didn't know that.
Yeah. United.
Oh, one of my flying buddies flies for United, I think.
When are you gonna fly tomorrow, Dennis, or how's the weather up there?
I flew today. And
you flew today?
85 degrees today here. I mean,
Oh,
I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. You know, it's still warm. And but the winds were very, very calm, and they were blowing from every which direction. I mean, they would change in the middle of a maneuver, and I just don't like that.
Thermals is what's causing that.
Yeah.
You had a little puffy white clouds all over the sky.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like when the wind shifts constantly too, and I don't know where to do the maneuvers.
Gotta know they're only going to last 5 or 10 seconds and wait them out.
I mean, they were switching 180 degrees.
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah.
It's funny. You complain when there's too much wind, and you complain when the wind's going every which direction.
And
you don't like it when it's dead calm.
Dead calm, yeah.
I don't mind when it's really windy as long as it's like at Golden State where it's clean.
Yeah.
It's clean at Golden State. Even when it's
the wind is your friend when it's a clean blow.
Yeah, I mean it's and the Strega, just at least the old setup. I don't know what I'm gonna have with this K77, but with the Stalker 81, that Strega was not an issue in the wind. It was.
Last year was nice. I mean,
yeah.
Conditions we had last year, you couldn't ask for better conditions.
Yeah.
The year before, though, man, it was terrible. I mean, we had 20-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, that's scary. Now, do you fly with hard point handles or do you use wired handles?
Yeah, I make my own hard point.
Is it the Ted Panther style or is it Tom Morris style?
It's my style.
You make everything, don't you? You make absolutely everything.
I'm going to try the hard point once I get back going.
Yeah, everything else costs too much.
Yeah, you're right. You probably have more time than money right now, right?
You got it. This is, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah,
I can see it. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks nice.
16th inch, what was that 2024 T3 aluminum.
Right.
And then just balsa, and then I use the tennis handle wraps. And then I make up my own clips off of that, what Jim Lee's, or no, was it, he sells that clip bender tool.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah. And I make my own clips.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of clip too.
Now, do you have a jig so you can drill those holes even, or what? Or is that water jetted?
That's with
we lost him.
He just lost his picture.
Hang on. No, it's just I drill them with a drill. I have a drill press and a drill gun. That's it.
You did a good job. Looks good. I didn't know if it was a water jet job done.
No.
Looks
just
all
even. Filing. I got a bunch of files, so we just file it. Aluminum files very easily.
Is it a balsa handle?
Yeah, balsa handle, and it was just with the racquetball type grip tape.
Yeah. Yeah, I used the same blue tennis racket tape on mine. Works great.
Now, what do you use?
The holes on this one are like a 1/4 inch apart.
Just lower it down a little bit. I can't see it. No, I can see it now. It looks good.
So,
now, what did you use to cut the?
It's not too heavy. It's pretty light.
What did you use to cut
I make them up, for every plane, I make one.
Now, what did you use to cut the inside out?
I have a little. I have a scroll saw with a
cutting blade. Good. Looks nice.
Yeah, they work pretty good.
Very nice.
And then I don't know if you've ever seen these line reels. Can you see that?
Oh, that's cool.
This is a device for kite flyers. For string.
Right. Very nice.
Just modify it, and it works fantastic. And you get them on eBay for like about $2.50.
Yeah, I bought one, but I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, all I did, drilled out a slot that you see here, put a little screw in there to hold a little piece of piano wire that put the eyelets in, and you just thread it on up. And I made the stop. All it is a piece of wood,
right?
The head, and tapered it, and it just wedges in in the reel.
Very nice.
Holds everything in place.
Very nice. Very good work. Yeah, I gotta fix my handle. I have one. Now, did you grease your ball bearings or lubricate them or anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I got some. Actually, it's from my garage door. The silicone grease, the white silicone grease. Hit it with that, and works fantastic. And very, very smooth to reel up.
You know, I'm glad you showed that to me. Just remind me I need to get my butt moving and fix mine. I might call you for or Skype and see how you did it again when I get back to and get ready to do it.
Well, I mean, it's on Stunthangar too. Somebody did it on Stunthangar. That's, you know, it's not an
Yeah,
original idea.
there was a lot of discussion last season about that on Stunthangar.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no original ideas.
Except for your circulus?
And even that, you know, that's a mixture of different models, things that I like. And then I just put it together the way I want, the way I can build it, make it easy. They were trying, and I haven't heard yet. Pampa's, because it's just in a change right now. Al tried to. He got a hold of Jim Hoffman, and they want to publish the plans for Circulus. And Dennis Adamson contacted me, and they wanted me to make some changes to the drawing to make it. Because I had like 5 drawings for it, and tried to get it down to 1, which I did. And they were supposed to put it on Pampa, and I don't know what's going to happen with that now.
Oh man, congratulations! That's pretty cool.
So we'll see. If they don't do it pretty soon, I'll just start giving the plans away to whoever wants them. Yeah, the PDF.
Yeah, it's cool. I think I'm not sure. I know you gave me some plans. I don't remember if it was the Circulus. Was it the smaller one or was it the 60 you gave me plans to?
I don't know if I gave you 60 or the 46 profile. I might have given you both. I don't know.
I have to check. But very nice plans. Very nice tech notes and everything.
Well, when I was working, I was a AutoCAD manager. So I dealt with CAD training for a mechanical engineer, and train the users and so forth. So I know how to use CAD very well. And so just in my keep my skills up, I just drew all my plans.
Very good.
Plans for.
Very, very good.
I drew up the plans for the Gladiator. I have my own plan. I purchased a set through RMS. I think it was Sell Some Plans, and I got them. I just like them. So I made my own.
Very good.
Well, what you got there, Mark? That yellow plane you're holding up.
It's a crappy old Brodak electric Super Clown. Had to fiberglass the nose back in because the nose ripped out. And if I'd known better, I never would have ordered it because it's terrible. The firewall was at a really bad angle, and it's just a terrible plane.
Okay.
So I put the nose back in. I am trying to get the motor set up the way I want it. Then I'll go in the corner and not get flown for months.
Is it a built-up profile?
Yes, it's profile.
I mean, but is the profile, is it a slab or is it built up?
It's built up.
I mean, the fuselage, is the fuselage a profile that's built up or is it one slab of wood?
It feels like a slab. It's a slab with cut out here, here, and here. Oh, and another one here.
Okay.
But everything from here forward is just slab.
Okay. I have a clown that was given to me. Been hoping to put it together. I mean, it's already together, but it needs to be repaired for my kids. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I was very tempted to convert this back to gas, and maybe I'll still do it. Depends on how well it flies after I get through fixing the firewall or the nose ring. We'll see. I just was not impressed with much of anything in this kit.
Well, guys,
Dennis, is that your 46, Dennis?
Yeah, this is the 46. This is the one, I don't know if you remember a while back, I had a crack along the nose that came up.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
And haven't had a problem since.
Good.
So.
Yeah, it looks great.
I like those wheels.
Yeah.
Is that carbon fiber struts, landing gear?
Carbon fiber profile gear.
Now, did you make those gears?
No, I bought those.
I didn't know if you laid up carbon fiber also.
But I had some aluminum struts on it, and they just weren't quite strong enough. The material, I need a little bit thicker material for them, but then they would have been too heavy. And then I saw that they had these carbon fiber profile gears, and I said, "Ooh, let me try that." And they came over, from China. Yeah, 14 bucks.
Hobby King?
Oh. Yeah, Hobby King.
Yeah.
And then
but if you want,
there's another place you can order them and get them, and you don't have to pay the shipping.
What place is that?
A couple sets. I got to look it up. It was online though. It was, and I think it was dealing directly from Japan or from China. But it took about 3 weeks, and they came on in. So I was happy. So, exact same thing.
That's nice. As far as aluminum gear, Eric Rule, his gear is how do you say it? Duralloy.
Duralloy.
Yeah, and it's tempered aluminum, and they're stiff. So if you ever want, if you're in a pinch, need it quick, you can't wait 3 weeks. Just get Eric to send you out some. His gear is, I hate to say this, but his gear is much better than Brodak's gear. Brodak's gear is.
I've had Brodak gear just break. I mean, at one of the bends.
Yeah. I just have it splay out. They just flatten out.
That's what the ones on my Cardinal used to do. That was what happened that time. I always tell the story about shortening my prop on takeoff.
Yes.
Took off with a 12-inch prop, landed with an 11-inch prop, flew the whole pattern.
Yeah. I was really surprised how light that landing gear strut are, with carbon fiber. Very, very light. And so strong.
They are. I just got some full fuselage carbon gear from Hobby King. I got 2 sets, and light, and strong, like you said. I might put it on my Oriental, but I'm happy with the gear I got from Eric. I replaced the Brodak Oriental landing gear with the gear I got from Eric. Again, it's that Duralloy, and it's so much better, because I fly on and off grass, and it's not the most it's not like putting green grass, so I really have to have some tough gear where I fly at.
Yeah, same here. Like I said, if it can handle grass, it'll handle asphalt.
Yeah, exactly. But I like how you rounded your fuselage. I mean, from this angle, I thought it was a built-up ship.
No, it's just skinny little profile.
So how thick is your fuselage?
Let's see, the core is 1/2 inch with the 1/16 inch balsa on the outside. So what, 5/8?
Really? And the front looks thicker than that.
It does. I guess it's an illusion.
A doubler on the front, cheek cowl on the front.
Looks really good, man. Great.
1/2 inch cheek cowl.
That looks really nice. What kind of appearance points did you get for that?
Let's see, 16 last time.
Wow. Worth every penny. Looks good.
I was surprised by my Circulus 60 at Golden State got 17. I was really pleased with that one.
It's a nice looking plane. Very, very nice. Yeah, I hope to I gotta get me a plane built because I'm having to outfly you as a pilot and have to outfly your appearance points. You know, and it's going to be a tough, tall order.
Trust me, Charles, it won't be hard to do.
I don't know, man. You know, I was talking to my friend Walter Hicks, and he said, "Yeah, Charles, Dennis is he's a good pilot. He's very formidable." I said, "I know. I'm not thinking I'm taking him very lightly at all."
I think we're going to call it a night, guys.
All righty.
Good night.
We
Y'all
made
have
it past midnight. Okay. Appreciate all y'all coming in. And that goes for you 6 viewers that are still hanging with us over on YouTube. Thanks a lot. We appreciate that. And so until Monday, fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see you later. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.